Should global tech giants such as Google and Facebook store your personal information at data centers in the US or in your home country? Now, that's a question that's been asked repeatedly by many a government around the world, and more so of late following the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal and alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 US presidential elections. The Indian government had last year set up a high-powered panel to suggest changes to the country's data protection law. According to reports, one of the changes it has proposed in the law is that internet giants such as Google and Facebook should store data belonging to Indians within India. However, this rule is to apply only to sensitive personal information. Reports say the panel is divided over the issue of whether companies should be forced to store data about Indians within India. This is because many Indian companies process personal data of European and American nationals as well. Some sections of the tech industry have argued that data localization may hurt the country's $135 billion software export industry, curtail innovation and economic growth. The government's concerns are valid. The Indian economy is increasingly getting digitized. The government is pushing a Digital India initiative as it tries to meet development goals for 1.3 billion Indians. But in a country which has over 460 million net users and which is one of the world's fastest growing smartphone markets, regulatory measures are at best poor. Data protection rules are still managed by the Indian Information Technology Act of 2000. Therefore, building safeguards against data breaches is of paramount importance to the government. It's also believed that law enforcement agencies, especially counter-terrorism experts, would benefit hugely if data is stored locally in India. Earlier this year, it was revealed that the Facebook data breach had affected over 500,000 Indian users. This was a small percentage of the more than 200 million users that Facebook has in India. Facebook has since taken corrective measures. There have also been concerns over possible election meddling by foreign agencies using technology. But is the answer to the problem more regulation of tech companies or allowing a free flow of data? The panel, headed by former Indian Supreme Court Judge B.N. Srikrishna, remains divided on the question. Its draft recommendations on the new law on data security would be submitted to the government by the end of this month. But if the latest reports are to be believed, it is working on a robust system of checks and balances to guard the personal data of more than 1 billion Indians from being misused. Ankit Tuteja now joins us live from the WION newsroom. Ankit, so is the panel, since it's divided, is it caught between two stools, so as to speak?
So, Amitabh, it seems to be an interesting move. Like, India is the second largest market when it comes to internet users, after China, of course. So it looks like a good move that the government is planning to make it mandatory for tech titans like Google and Facebook to have their data centers in India when it comes to data storage, when it comes to data of Indian users. It makes sense to have them locally in India. But what is to note here is that, are we ready to have data centers in India? Because what we lack right now is the absence of legal framework. Even if we have data centers in India, but what if we don't have a proper legal framework to govern or to protect citizens against data crimes and data breaches? And that's what is happening right now. If you look at the legal framework in India, we do not have any particular framework to, to store and process and use the data. There is no mandate for companies to report data breaches right now. So on one hand, it makes sense for data to be stored locally, but on the other hand, it's very important to understand that we don't have any legal framework that can govern the movement and regulation when it comes to data protection.